Hey there, Giants. It's another great day for math. We are going to be using our brains this morning, let me tell you. Let's go ahead and write our title on the page. Compare fraction, factors, and products. Put the date. Fold your page in half so that we can take notes on the right side and our examples on the left, and I will pause the video. Okay, here we go. Let's remind ourselves of the identity property of multiplication. Okay, so on my first line here, let's go ahead and rewrite identity property of multiplication. Okay, and who can remember what the identity property of multiplication states? Anybody? All right, there we go. Thanks for remembering. Any number times 1. Can you see it up there on the wall? Any number times 1 equals what? Equals itself. Okay, and let's throw in a little example here. All right, just a whole number example. In a moment, we're going to use a fraction example. So let's pick an easy number. How about 3? All right, so 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. Now I'm going to skip a line and I'm going to write an example using a fraction, because that holds true for fractions as well. A fraction, any number, times 1 will equal what? Yes, itself. Okay, it's going to 3/4 times 1 will equal 3/4. Okay, that's easy and straightforward. So we are going to look at either side of 1 today. We're going to look at the factors smaller than 1 and this second factor larger than 1. Okay? And I think once you catch on, you'll see how easy it is. There's not a lot of calculation tonight. There's just recognizing the factor as 1, less than 1, and greater than 1. Okay? And that will result in a product that is equal to this first factor, less than the first factor, or greater than the first factor. All right, so I'm going to skip a line and I'm going to take this note. Any number times a number. Let's go small this time. Any number times a number less than 1. Any number times a number less than 1 will result in a product less than the original factor. All right, let me give you a moment to write that down. Okay, let's write our example. Let's go ahead and use 3/4 again. So that is our constant. Okay, so let's go ahead and take 3/4. And if we take 3/4 and we multiply it times a number less than 1. So let's pick a number less than 1. Do you want to use 3/4 is less than 1? 1/2 is less than 1. What would you like to use? You want to use 1/2? Let's use 1/2. Okay? Okay. Any number times a number that is less than 1 will result in a product less than the original factor. So our answer should be less than 3/4. Are you ready? Let's multiply straight across. 3 times 1 is 3. 4 times 2 is 8. 3/8. Well, when we're comparing, let's make sure that our denominators are the same. Okay? So I'm going to quickly take my 3/4 down here. I'm going to multiply it by 2/2, that fractional 1, so that it will give me 6/8. So that when I'm comparing 3/4, this is an equivalent fraction to 3/4, right? I'm comparing my product to my factor. Is it actually less than the original factor? Is 3/8 less than 3/4? Yes, it is, because 3/4 is equivalent to 6/8. So let's write this comparison. 3/8 is less than 6/8. Remember my comparison signs? Okay. So that's less than. When you multiply any number times a factor less than 1, it will result with a product that is less than this original factor. Okay? Now let's go and look at the flip side of that. Are you ready? Any number times a number and I may be running out of space there. I don't know. Let's check this out. Any number times a number greater than 1 will result in a product greater than the original factor. Okay? Let's get that written down. Any number times a number greater than 1 will result in a product greater than the original factor. So let's go ahead and keep 3/4 as my original factor, okay? Now I'm going to come over here. I think I can, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. I think I can do this right here. If I start on this same line and come over here, let's use my 3/4 again, like I did with 1 here and 1/2. And this is 1, so we know that 3/4 times 1 is equal to 3/4. We showed that 3/4 times a number less than 1 results in a product that is less than the original factor. 3/8 is less than 3/4. Now we're going to go greater than. So let's do 3/4 times, let's pick a number greater than 1. Let's not go crazy, but let's just pick 2. Okay, 2 is greater than 1. And we know that 3/4 times 2, let's turn that into a fraction, right? That is 6/4. Okay? And I'm going to continue my calculation down here. 6/4 is the same as what? Do you want to divide? Or do you just, can you figure that out? Can you pull out that fractional 1? 4/4 plus 2/4. And that equals 1 and 2/4. And that equals 1 and, remember what equivalent fraction 2/4 is in simplest terms? 1 and 1/2. Right. So if we are looking for, I'm running out of space again. If we are looking for that comparison, that greater than comparison, yes, our product, because we multiplied this number times a number that's greater than 1, our answer here, which is 1 1/2 in simplest terms, we would say 1 1/2 is greater than 3/4. Okay, can you get that in there? Can you fit that in there? Okay, because we're going to go back to the top on our example on the left side of our page and put a couple more examples down. Alrighty? Okay, let's do this. Alright, coming back to the top. Let's do another example. I'm thinking maybe 5/6. Now I'm going to come over here on the other side of my little pink line there. 5/6 times 1. That's the easy one, right? 5/6 times 1 is equal to identity property. Any number times 1 is itself. So we would say 5/6 times 1 is equal to 5/6, right? All right, let's try it again. Let's skip a line and put 5/6 times, and now let's pick a number that is less than 1. Let's see, let's try 1/4. 1/4 is less than 1, and that is 5 times 1 is 5. 6 times 4 is 24. Now, in order so that we can compare this fraction and this fraction, I'm going to take 5/6 and I'm going to turn it into 24ths so that we can do a fair comparison. And so I multiply by my fractional 1. 5 times 4 is 20. 6 times 4 is 24. So if you're looking, 5/6 is the same as 20 24ths. But if I multiply times a number less than 1, I get 5 24ths. Okay? So my comparison would be 5 24ths is less than what? Let's go ahead and use our original fraction this time. 5 24ths is less than 5/6. Okay? Skipping a line, let's put one more down. Let's go greater than 1 this time. Alright? So 5/6 times, we used 2 down here at the bottom of the page. Let's go ahead and say 3. Okay? So 5/6 times 3 equals, here we go, 5/6 times 3 once, and that equals 15/6. Okay, let's simplify that. And let's put 15 divided by 6. That's what? 2? Times 6, that's 12. And subtracting, we have 3. So what do we have? We have 2 and 3/6. Okay, and that is actually equal, we simplify this, that is actually equal to 2 1/2. So when we're comparing, what do we say? We say what? We multiplied this fraction times a number greater than 1. That resulted in a product that is greater than the original factor. Okay, let's write that comparison down. So we know that 2 1/2 is greater than, and we'll use our original factor, our original fraction there is greater than 5/6. Okay, this is the kind of thinking we're doing today, kiddos. And once you catch on, it's easy and fun. And don't forget that multiplication is commutative. So my 1 does not always have to come second. And my smaller number than 1 does not always have to come second. It could come first in my comparison, okay? In my multiplication. All right, Giants. Looking forward to a great day in math.